Hey everyone, I'm Audius Wolf, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and today we are going to be going the last two patches of post Heavensward, which is patch 3.5 and patch 3.56, the Far Edge of Fate parts 1 and 2. Yes, we are finally almost into Stormblood. It's taken us way too long to get there. Then let's talk to Taru. Taru! Alcohol, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. Oh, I know what this is. This won't take long, I promise. I know what this is. Oh my god. Tataru, why are you like this? Tataru, why are you like this? Alright. Let's go to the Diamond Forge. Oh, hello, nighttime. Alright, let's go. Let's see what stupidity we have gotten ourselves into today. I know exactly what we're getting ourselves into. Hi, Tatar. I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Right, everyone, ready to go to work? No swearing now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. There, I'll finish. The Warrior of Light's every measurement from heroic head to intrepid toe. God damn it, Tataru. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Kaharu. All in good time. Aha! Found you! Can I help you, Ida? Alphino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting. Taru, I swear you're going to kill us one day. You're going to kill the Warrior of Light one of these days, Tataru.
We're here! Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Orianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Okay, let's... why are we here, Alphino?
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention.
Ah yes, the many troubles that we have to deal with as the Warrior of Light.
And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Yeah, that seems...
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear.
Okay.
No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
That is true. He's always had quite the flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede she might struggle to balance her new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thank you, Thancred.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! You're... Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Yashola! Please, you have to help her.
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. Ah, but I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
Ah, yes, the Griffin. We just recently dealt with... Well, not him directly, but someone who was acting in his place.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
Okay, we had this issue in A Realm Reborn where Garlemald was trying to take over Eorzea. And not only did I destroy the weapon they were trying to use to do that, but I kicked all of their butts in doing so. He's gonna have to try harder than that.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
That is true, yeah.
Agreed. I shall depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emmerich, and encourage him to send an envoy. To Taru, Kryl, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
Alright, back to Ishgard we go.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Alright, off to Ishgard we go. Come, tiny moon breeder, we away! Lucia! Lucia! Lucia, I have information that you might want to know. Greetings, Warrior of Light. What business brings you to Ishgard? Mouse, work, please. I see. Wait here. I will summon Sir Emmerich. It is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would certainly have sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Alamigo to our attention. Ishgard will, of course, send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? Of course. I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handel that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Commander. Kaharu, pray accompany Lucia to the Gates of Judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury speed you on your way. If you have no other business in the city, join me at the Gates of Judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. Okay, come on, Mouse, work. Alright, let's get some judgment. Lucia, nice to see you again. Did you change armor, or is it just the change in lighting? I think it's probably just the change in lighting, but wow. We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not I concede that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone. Not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's book of statuettes. I don't know. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. Away to Camp Dragonhead. The garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Kaharu? You may see a familiar face. Kaharu, old girl, how wonderful to see you, and Sir Emmerich too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? I will have some more wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you will excuse. Nay, no, do not trouble yourself, Wanui. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander? Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to to an Imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel and the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. Surprised to see yours truly at the helm? You and me both, old girl. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Oh, Horsefon. Yet we can but play the hand we're dealt. And with a little help from the veterans and Onui's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old girl. Off to Gridania with you. And Madeline is growing. Sorta. Sorta. Alright, now we need to go to the Conjurer's Grove. Nope, not yet. Where? Hello, Emmerich. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by Black Shroud's beauty as I was when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, adventure will afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. It seems we're to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. Just like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? over here. Da, 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 da. The envoy from Ishgard is arrived. Very good. This way, if you please. Ah, and the Limson party as well. Yugiri! I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Emmerich. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Kaharu, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you're well acquainted with my escort. Lady Kaharu, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing scions have now been found. There's much more I would discuss with you, but let's first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gir Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people, too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
There is so much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one.
But...
Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
right into another cutscene. That the council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good, you have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Emmerich! Master Alphino, a pleasure as always. And Mr. Salize, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Kaharu for serving as our escort before our other duties called her away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Oh, Yugiri! Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. Yugiri! No apologies are necessary, Mistress Yugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's plea for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the elder Seedseer to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Emmerich. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad we are to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Yugiri? Yugiri! Actually, I think I shall first pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papulilo and Ida fare in their talks with the Sylphs, not to mention what has been going on at Belsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. Pray return to the Rising Stones. Alright, back to Morgana. Alize! Welcome back, Kaharu. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the rebel politics. Yeah. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Oh, why must you pick on Alphinoso? Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we head inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Let's sort. Into the Rising Stones we go. Ah, your return from the council. But what of Alphino? Did some other matter require his attention? My apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kryle, how's Nago doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tataru's keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the Council's decision. Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot seriously... One does not lightly go to war with a Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there was some way to reach the Griffin. Some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Baelsar's wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you say? You mean? Hold on. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want. I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kryl and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Leviers? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worse, 'twould seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Kaharu? Gridania will be safer for your presence. And, while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. If you have any unfinished business in the Tull, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorne Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Baelsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Boop, 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 boop. We got a dungeon coming up. Alright, where's Alphino? Alphino, there you are. Ah, Kaharu, there you are. Come. Oh my god. Ameriswa Spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Not seeing the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, as I was about to say, 12 watch over you, but I no doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alphino. We'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago, you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than by the neck. So which is it to be? 'Twould seem best to decide before we enter negotiations. Trust me, Papa Limo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Ah, some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. I don't care about your fates, game. I have never cared about your fates. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you're here to speak with our commanding officers. You will find them on the observation platform. Hold on. You will find them on the observation platform. Pray, proceed. Pippin! Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. Pippin! And Hilda! I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind him why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the Grand Melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, I must say what an honor it is to stand at your side. 'Tis heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Uh-oh. Report. What? Seven hells. Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault. So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible! We gave no such order. Of course! The wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait! We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the army's attention, it could be comparatively easy for the Griffin supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst a populace which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Kaharu, we must make for the wall at once. What? Just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Ha! I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Oh dear, oh dear. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. I can't see, it's foggy! From what Papalimo told me, the trail ahead should lead us to the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight ways for the tunnels, and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the griffin. Make him see reason by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. I can't see. It's foggy. Belsar's wall. Let's go. I still can't see the wall. It's stop. Game, stop being foggy. I can't see the wall. And I can't get too close to it. Yeah, this is about as far as out of bounds as it will let me go. Wait, is there a path down here? You have to climb down. Okay. That would be fun. But given there are like little steps here, it probably wouldn't be too difficult to climb up and down this little ridge. I still can't see the wall. It's still too foggy to see the wall. Start at 14 minutes and jump to 16. This is gonna be great. Wonderful waiting time. Can I see the wall, please? Could the fog go away so I can actually see the wall? That would be great. That would be fantastic. Okay, go away, Nat. Nobody asked you your opinion. Yes, shoo. Shoo. I can see the lights in the wall, but I still can't see the wall itself. Baelsar's wall. Ah, it's gonna be a fun time in there. Gonna be such a fun time in there. Well, you know, if And the queue went up to 19. Of course it did. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time in there once we actually are able to go inside. Eventually. Oh, this is gonna be a long wait. Well, Time and Brita, we have nothing to do but wait. Those things are hideous. Yep, those Nants are hideous. As per Marshal Terrapin's orders, we will provide a faint cover to cover your advance. May the crystal light your way forward. I have a chair. Pippin! With the castle orange to the south and the Silverlands to the north, we must remain vigilant for any signs of aggression. Every sentry that patrols the East Shroud knows well that we are surrounded by enemies at all times. Alamigo has suffered under Imperial occupation for 20 years, long as the resistance fought and failed to slip free of the Empire's yoke. But I wonder how this latest clash will change the lay of the land. That is a good question, Pippin. Also, can it stop being foggy? I want to actually be able to see the wall. How often does the weather change in this game? Like is it every 12 in-game hours that changes? Which is why no one ever wants to do the sightseeing logs in A Realm Reborn anymore. Because not only is for most sightseeing logs for the expansions, you just have to find a place to the correct amount. You got it. Realm Reborn, you have to find the exact spot, and there's no little way markers to find where those spots are. You have to be there for the correct time of day, have the weather be the correct kind of weather for it, and you have to do the exact amount to get that vista. And it is a pain in the butt to get those vistas. Which is why I tend to never bother with the A Realm Reborn sightseeing logs. weather going to change? It is still foggy as heck. I've been waiting 9 minutes to get into... Oh, it went from 19 back down to 14 minutes. That's just lovely. Anyway, in my Vista rant, there's one right here. Right here. And if you'll give me a moment to look up around upon Vistas. Sightseeing log. Where am I? Where is the East Shroud? East Shroud, so another 12. It has to be between 8 and 12 a.m., I believe. 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. And the weather has to be clear and fair. And given that it's been like almost 4 hours in Eorzea time and the weather still has not changed, you can see how annoying these vistas can be to get. You can be standing in one spot for hours, waiting for just the right time frame for you, that you have to be in, and also the right kind of weather. It is ridiculous. They at least got rid of the weather and time priorities for the later sightseeing log. So now you just have to walk up to a spot that is actually now marked, so you can spot them more easily and just do the emote that is needed there. And voila, you got the vista. I still cannot see the wall. I can't see the wall. I want to see the wall, but I can't. How often does the weather change? Weather conditions change around 12 a.m., 8 a.m., and 4 p.m. Wow, so it does take a while for them to actually change. Yeah, so we are not going to see the weather change for another like hour and a half Eorzea time. We are never going to see that wall. Look at how foggy it is. Well, it's been almost 14 minutes. I swear, playing a DPS through these expansions, this is the longest part of any of my streams currently. It's just waiting for the queue to pop. Well, it's been 14 minutes now, and I'm still not in the dungeon. Well, we actually might see the weather change and get to see Belzar's Wall before the queue pops, because it's now telling me 17 minutes. Thanks, game. Thank you so much for making me wait these ridiculous queue times. Let me in. Let me in. Game, let me in. Let me in. There we go. Oh, it's raining. That's not better, but hey, we can see the outside of the wall now. Actually see the entrance to the wall. It has been 18 minutes and I'm still not inside the dungeon, game. You told me 14 minutes to start. Then 17 minutes, and now you are telling me 20 minutes. Are you going to let me into Balzar's Wall or not, game? Make up your mind. I can only wait for so long to get into a dungeon. You gotta pop at some point. Q has to pop at some point. It has to let me into the dungeon at some point. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. It's been 21 minutes. You told me 20. You told me 14. Then you told me 17. And then you told me 20. And now you're telling me 20. It's been 21 minutes, game. Are you going to let me into the dungeon or not? Oh, finally. Ah, that took way too long to get into. And naturally, the entire place is on high alert. Oh my god, the rabbit's the healer. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting run. Get back here! Get back here! Stop it! Get some help. Identification key. Okay, in we go. Excuse you. Stop it. Get off of me! Enough! Go away! I have enough to deal with without being chained to whatever the heck that was. Got the key. Stop it. Evolving. There we go. Need more white. Ow. Okay, that was just rude. Could you not? The chest. Don't need it. I'll just trade it in for seals. Hey, why are they attacking me? Anyway, I don't want any of this, thank you. I'm yes. I should not be the center of your attention. Oh, right. These guys. No. Why are you focusing on me? I am not the tank. Stop looking at me. Stop it. I don't want this attention. Stop it. let's go. Let's go. And yeah, dead. That barely hurts. Almost down. Done. Duh, I forgot. I was going to start reading them so I could turn them into seals when I got them. Almost to the end. Nope, nope, no. Got the identification key. Still going? We're still going. Okay. We're still going. And we're still going. Okay. Go. Hey. Guess who it is? Freaking Elbird.
Yeah! Yeah! How'd you like these?
Wait.
Sloppy.
I am glad I am a red mage. Because
I'll tear you limb from limb. Ja. Sloppy.
Shut up, Wilbur.
For Alamigo!
Sword.
I have you now.
Ah, my leg 5 fell.
Yeah. How'd you like this? Yeah!
Stop.
Sloppy. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
No, bad color. Get off the healer.
Yeah.
Get off the fucking healer.
Yeah. Sloppy.
The only one who can sloppy here is you, Wilbur.
Yeah. I'll tear you limb from limb.
Nice.
Ja. Sloppy. For Alamigo!
Yeah. Just because they were dressed as a bunny and very, very weird. Hello, Robert. Been a while, hasn't it?
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold! A glimpse of things to come!
We did it! We showed the bastards!
Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live. Vanguards! Attack!
Seven hells! Do you hear that?
War machines. How did they get here so quickly?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Guys, you can't flee from the story.
Gods help us! What were we thinking? The Empire's too big. Too powerful. Mighty Ralker, grant us the strength to crush our...
There you are.
Haplimo, everybody.
As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
Nice.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
Yeah, it is.
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Illbird. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now! Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand, you truly are a sheltered child, Leveilleur.
Nidhogg's eyes! No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
Especially Nidhogg's eyes.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Alamigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Oh my god.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power!
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all! Ah!
Ugh. He had gone completely mad by the end, hadn't he?
This light, is it?
Yep.
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Ah, Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Tumtumati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalymo! I know how that spell works! It is time to leave!
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go! The further away, the better!
No! If you're staying, then so am I!
No, Ida! There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here, not like this! Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
Why didn't they let me stay? Papolino is my friend. I should have been there with him. You could see in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing. What had to be done. Master Heavensward wore the same look right before the end. Don't you think I don't know that? I know, alright? I know! There's nothing more you could have done. Ilbert caught us all off guard. Even Kaharu was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget what Papolino strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. That has always been such a haunting cutscene. And there it is. Bear he made. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thancred is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. Twould see me bring ill tidings, brother. Aye, behind the griffin's mask we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilbert. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual, even as we looked on. By the 12. I don't understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's ether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I am certain Papolino was aware. Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilbert came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the sea of clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind, aspected ether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. And mayhap it was the work of an Ascian, but now is not the time for idle speculation. Kryl, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light, and ascertain the state of the primal draft within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let's be about it then. What? Without so much as a by your leave? Pray forgive Archon Y'shtola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest your grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to comfort Ida doubtless compounded her unseemly haste. I too must contend with grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alize, I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Papolino's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilberd's accursed creation without delay. What time we have purchased at... Hold on. What time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before... A communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of Yashila's last reports, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that St. Garland has been called to add his expertise to the proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones into Taru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
And down he goes.
Good God, man. Are you all right? Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Alright, back to Tanya. Let's go to... Nope, this is the wrong thing. Ethernet, there we go. Contrasil. I have no idea what those NPCs were talking about.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders.
You're welcome.
I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
Of course it does.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken.
Okay, so far, good.
After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
No, they probably won't ignore it.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
Oh dear.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon. Of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment.
That is not good.
Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
Okay, let's not get Bahamut involved in this, please.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Yes, there is that. Like, yeah, let's destroy it, but how are we going to get close to the thing?
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
Ah, Nero, nice to see you again.
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
God damn it, Nero.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
Why are you here?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanal since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
Nero does, doesn't he?
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I am graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years, studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I.
Yes, but you also had, like, major Notice Me Senpai issues because of Sid, so...
But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame?
Hey, excuse you, I have killed more primals than you can count, Nero.
Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
She has a good point.
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
No, but I'll keep an eye on him.
As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Carteneau and take command of Omega. Cid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
Such shade.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Carteneau being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
That is true, Alphino.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
Alize!
My blade is yours.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Toruchi's 16! Stop it! Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises a number of questions. Not least among them, how Nero chanced to learn of the council meeting in the first place. Just how did he learn of the council meeting? Soon the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alize is already on her way, and it would not do to lag far behind. Let us be off. You know that she spent a year in the first, but she wasn't actually in Eorzea. She wasn't actually there for that long, right? She's mentally 18, but technically, physically still 17 by the end of Shadowbringers. Where am I going? God damn it, Toru. Hello, Cid, I have arrived. Gaharu, Alphino, ready to go? The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of that man poking about in the workings of the ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alphino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yugiri are... Ah, well, here they are now. Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Carteneau? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon as we speak, and I would hear more of their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such a time as you have finished procrastinating. Oh, it's a battle of the sass. Alright. When Alphino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly with the Excelsior over to New Ordona, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. Midnight. You're helping nobody right now. Make up your mind. What are you doing? My apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Y'shtola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Gaharu, pray accompany Alizé back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Right. Everyone heading to Ordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. You're traveling with Master Sid Garland, miss? The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Let's go to Mordona! Yay! Sid! Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the Toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? I mean, this is as good a spot as any. Mordona doesn't exactly have an actual airship landing, so...
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Thanks, Nero.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Y'shtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
Is Ida okay?
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
Oh.
By your leave!
Yes!
Good gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu! Why are you come to Eorzea?
Gosetsu!
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gozetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
Wow, Nero, no heart at all.
The Empire? You, Giddy? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
I love Gosetsu. Gaharu, wait. Could I speak with you for a moment? Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on right now if you like. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Too snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light is... well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sold in a blood pearl charm to, you know, bring you home. May it always protect you. That does not suit Gaharu one bit. So, we have to wake up Omega, right? When do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well. I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Y'shtola and Kryl. A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartano Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Gaharu, Ida, and our Doman friends take care of security. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready. Ah, yes, my angry unicorn. Right, where did we park? Here we are. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartano before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once though, however, we had best be on our guard. Given that Eline Riol was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by this new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. We're always flying into a fight, Sid. This is what we do. This is just what we do for a living. We fly into fights. Alright, get yourself situated, cat.
Now, where was that? Ah! I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishers. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland.
Hey, look who it is.
Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
He has no idea at all. Alright. Gosetsu?
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
Let's go. Oh, this should be fun.
No holding back!
Leave this to me.
I have you!
You really don't. Oh, that was Gosetsu who said that. Oh, nice.
This one'll sting.
Oh dear. Oh, run away.
An opening.
'Tis my right to strike!
You watching, Papalimo?
No retreat. No surrender.
With soul and steel!
Thanks for doing my job for me, dude.
It's all over now.
Surrender, we have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time. Are you still playing with those soldiers? Ugh, I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Behold, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense. Oh, heck yes. What the? No one told me they have Magitech armor. Forward! For the Empire! The Omnilus Curse think to abandon his men? I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. I got this, Gosetsu.
It's all over now.
Goodbye.
Your defense is lacking.
I have you!
You watching, Papalimo?
Leave this to me.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
No holding back.
Stop it.
An opening.
With soul and steel!
It's okay, I got it.
This one'll sting.
No retreat. No surrender.
No problem.
'Tis my right to strike!
It's all over now.
Your defense is lacking.
I have you!
Run away! Oh.
You watching, Papalimo?
Leave this to me.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
No holding back.
Guys, I can feel myself. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Too many AoEs.
An opening.
With soul and steel!
Yep, get out of there.
This one'll sting.
Sure, dude. Yeah, you run away. Alright, now where were we?
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
Interesting.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
Yes.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
Well, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah. What do you think?
All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Omega, engage!
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
You are enjoying this a little too much, Nero. Calm down. Calm down, Nero.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose. Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I need to find out. Let's be on our way. To Gridania! One moment everything was functioning perfectly, and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon. I will use these. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ida, wait! We must first... the Elder Seedseer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Udiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. Well, Alphino is best at politics, so... The other Seedseer awaits you within. Hello everyone, I return! My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try. But tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing, that much is certain. But I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other over the skies. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Garabania. The primals might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to see again. The battle raged on with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere in Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could only think of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of far eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Garabanian side of the border. Aye, which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Turpin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gardania's border, and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned. Bahamut worm. Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we will quickly re-engage Omega stasis systems. So even if it has fallen to the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps the statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the resistance representatives of Garabania. Though Ilbert has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Gonwolf's grasp. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might take a small detour. Yashil and the others have gathered at Amiswa Spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. Alright, to the East Shroud. And yes, that was definitely one of my favorite parts of post Heavensward. Just watching that battle between Shinryu and Omega. That was amazing.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
Not surprising.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbert's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise.
Yeah.
Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilbert all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
Yep. Yes, it was.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by a mega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She's up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhaps she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
Yes, let's go join her. Ida?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Oh.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Why did you never tell me?
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role.
Papa Limo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lys. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
It was brave of Lys to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papa Limo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite the story to tell to Tataru and my sister. He may have mentioned, but Atheno has surprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. The only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lys has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Girabania, we shall have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom but indolence, correct? I for one look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect you do too. And that's the last time we'll be hearing the Heavensward quest theme. Quick march! The Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face the retribution. It is almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I can words. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Everything's on fire. Very well, Ilberd. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. Hey, Tara, look who it is! Look who it is. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Belzar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown icon continues, though both yet elude us. My lord, the battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord. I did not intend. Your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies and behold their crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. And there we have it. We have finally finished post Heavensward, and we are now in Stormblood. And look, I can do my class quest now. But that is something we will start on Monday and continue on Wednesday. So until then, thank you for everyone who joined me. Thank you to those who are chatting with me. And thank you to anyone who watches the video afterward. And I will see you in Stormblood. This is going to be very interesting.